Going. Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffey Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all, as well as the podcast, on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 122 of another Woodshop podcast, where this week we are joined by the heart and soul of the maker community, showing the boys how it's done since 2015. She plays Luke in a garage by day and Alma Rose Villalobos by night. Alma from PinkSoulStudio is here.
Nailed it!
Hey. Alma's here. That was a great intro. Pete is fire with those things. Yeah,
Amazing.
He does a good job. Like Pete just said, Alma's joining us on the episode this week. Really excited to have Alma here. If you don't know who Alma is, I'm going to go on a limb and say you're a fool, and you need to fix that.
I don't think that's a very big limb.
No, it's not.
Fools.
Well, it's accurate. No, Alma's great. She's really wonderful. You should go check out Alma. If you don't follow Alma, go follow Alma. You'll listen to this episode and realize how correct I am about that. So, Alma's
No
here.
pressure.
Yeah, no, you're great. I mean, you're great under pressure. You're great over pressure. That doesn't make sense.
And on the side of pressure.
On the side under pressure.
Pressure adjacent.
Coke. Yeah. No, I mean, we got Alma on the show. We're going to jump into, we're going to ask you a million questions here in just a bit, but we're really excited to have you on the show. So big thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much. We went over some of the segments we do on the show with you, kind of give you the format of it. One of the more keystone moments of our show, we do a review segment, and we can't do the reviews without
Black Betty, ram.
Dan singing Black Betty. It's kind of somehow it's our stupid way of getting into the reviews.
One day we'll get a copyright strike.
We actually don't have any reviews this week. So I don't know why I played that. But what we do have this week is patrons. So big thanks to our patrons. You guys are amazing. I last week, I want to stay out of the gate, I screwed up for one of our patrons. Typically, our patrons, their questions get read first, and we were getting through the show with Brad. We were kind of under a time constraint, and I didn't read a question from John with Huntington Builds. So I apologize to John. We're going to get to his this week for sure. His will be top of the show. But we did get some new patrons. Mark Alms, big thanks to Mark, Andrew Vahey, and Aaron Easton. So 3 new patrons. You guys are
Andrew
awesome.
Vahey, isn't he the Friday the 13th guy?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I've never seen
It's Jason
popular
Voorhees. That's how you pronounce it. Yes, Andrew
Jason Voorhees.
Oh.
In Spanish, it's pronounced Vahey.
Ah,
Alma will confirm. But anyway.
It means long nails.
Yeah. Andrew, it's Andrew Vahey Bozos is what Alma said at the top before the show. So no, big thanks to our patrons. You guys are awesome. We really appreciate you so much, and all your support goes a really long way here. So we really appreciate it. Alma,
Yes.
Pete asked a very important question, and I don't know why Pete asked it before the show. It was a real big mistake on Pete's part, and Pete made just mistake after mistake. No, I'm just kidding. Pete's great. He asked, when did you get into woodworking? I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know why we don't ask that question first to everyone. But
Yeah.
that's a really important question.
like a good question.
It's like a really good question. Like, how'd you get into it? Not, not
Episode-
woodworking, but
which
like all this.
episode is
We're
this?
good at this.
122. We're still learning. If you're not learning, you're dying. Or so I think someone said
Something
that.
like that.
Steve Gates. No.
Steve
And,
Gates.
and actually, can you
Steve
so
Apple.
answer
Steve
that
Apple.
question, but also just give us your elevator pitch.
But also do it as if Tarantino had filmed it. So tell us the
Yeah.
end and then go to the beginning.
And Andrew Vahey's chasing you with a knife.
You're standing in front of a
Right.
fire smoking a cigarette, it all started 3 years ago.
This is stupid.
So-
Sorry. Oh, picked up the mic. I love it.
So, well, I guess I've always been a maker, but seriously into woodworking probably 8 years ago when my son was born, just after he was born. I just
Awesome.
felt like I wanted to make him all the things, and we just got
That's so
this
cool.
house too. So I wanted to make everything my wife wanted was like she wanted a crate and barrel bed, like a platform bed. And it was like, yes,
$20,000.
Yeah, like $20,000 for this. And, Anna White
20,000 Nebraskan bucks.
Anna White.
So that's what I did.
God save Anna White.
She's the best. Yeah. And then for my son too, like I wanted to make I made little tables for him and chairs, and I made his first like big boy bed, and
that's so cool.
Yeah. So that was what it started. Like it developed from there. And I think with this garage, it's always been my garage. But when I first started, I only had half of it as like my wood shop. And then the other half, I also tinkered in vintage motorcycles and vintage scooters.
Ooh,
like
sick.
Vintage Italian scooters.
That seems appropriate for some reason.
I never knew that.
I could see you
Never
being a
seen her
motorcycle.
sidecar?
No, I haven't.
No.
You haven't seen the almost sidecar motorcycle?
Yeah.
Thing's
No.
sick.
Yeah, I have a sidecar.
I'm sorry. I feel bad now.
I have
Well, you are a terrible
vintage
person.
Vespa,
Go on,
but
Alma.
that's what I started in, was like the vintage
Crackers.
Vespa.
Do you
still have
vintage
any of those?
BMWs. Yes, I have like sold a bunch.
Mike, be nice. We're learning.
No, Dan made a good joke. Finally,
It
it's
was
122
good.
episodes. It was good.
Finally.
Finally.
You're welcome.
No.
Sorry. I'll continue.
Yeah, no, I still do. I have one scooter of a 67 Vespa, a 67 BMW, and then I have the newer Ural. That's a motorcycle with a sidecar.
Oh,
But
That's
they're no
awesome.
longer in the garage. Now the garage, like I
Is
would
all
say
your
maybe
shop, right?
like, yeah, I would say like probably 5 years ago. That's when, yeah, maybe
Did
like 5 years ago.
Did you build like an extra garage or shed type thing for your bikes?
No, I used to have a bunch more in here. Like I had several scooters and motorcycles. And I ended up selling a bunch of, like, I sold them all to just keep these 3. And I have my friend who you guys might know as Shop B Alley. She is awesome. And or Shop Bitch, right? I
Watch
could say
the
that
language.
here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
I know,
Hot.
right?
Slap that explicit on there.
Wow.
It's fine.
This podcast took a turn.
She's awesome and lets me store 2 of my bikes there. So my BMW
cool.
is there. And then in the winter, my motorcycle sidecar goes to her garage, and my scooter's here. It's in the shed. So
I miss having motorcycles so bad. Like I got rid of my bikes right before I'd gotten into woodworking, and like I missed it for the first year, and then I kind of like I got into woodworking and I didn't really miss it. But man, in the last year, I miss it a lot. I have dirt bikes, but I miss having a road bike really bad, like a lot. I think it's happening in 2023. I'm going to get a bike again. I miss it a lot. It's cathartic.
This week I was showing Pete and Mike some pictures of scooters that I was looking at, and they were like, "Those aren't scooters. That's a rascal." And I feel that's
like when
So
you
you
go
go
to
to
Depot
Menards
or Walmart.
and your stories, instead of at your flip flops, it's your wheel up front spinning. No, but bikes are, I don't know.
That's awesome.
How long you been riding for, Alma?
oh my God, for years. I think I
Yeah.
started on dirt bikes.
Cool.
I think I learned how to ride a dirt bike at my uncle's cottage when I was maybe 11. And
Yep.
then I got my first motorcycle was a 71 BMW.
all these
Which
BMWs.
was I just fell in love with the vintage BMWs.
I had no
But I think I
idea
got it when
BMWs made bikes
Yeah.
They
until
made
just
really
this moment.
nice. The
I was
Euro
today
bikes-
years old.
Yeah,
The,
When I
the
found out.
BMW
Beautiful.
Euro bikes are fantastic.
they're
Really?
so beautiful.
Yeah,
Like they're
Interesting.
vintage.
I thought it
bikes
was
are
Harleys
beautiful.
and Hondas only.
Well, they're different bikes. They're different riding styles. Like a Harley is like a different type of style.
Yeah.
Like with the BMWs, you lean more over the fuel tank than you would with like a Harley, where you're kind of leaning back and cruising, and it's a different style.
They
of riding.
have a new one now. It's a cruiser. Like it's a
Oh, really?
yeah. It's pretty slick.
Oh,
It's
that looks
brand new. Like it came out, I think, like maybe last year or the year before. But it's like straight up cruiser. People have made them into like bobbers.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those T-shirts that says, "If you can read this, the shop B fell off"?
The what fell off, Dan? Never mind. The shop help.
I'm
See,
sorry.
I learned how to ride a motorcycle. It was winter of 2022. It was on my buddy's.
I remember.
It was a coffee ranch, as we call it.
Yeah, you were over here at my place.
Yeah.
You were not super comfy with the bike.
But I got
Also
better.
not comfortable with somebody trying to record it.
Dan was trying to record me while I was trying to learn, and it was stressing me out a lot.
He straight up yelled at me.
I've never been on a manual. I've only ridden automatic.
Okay.
So he put me on a manual, and I became a man that day. Emma's very appreciative of it. Thank you, Mike.
Okay.
It's so fun riding dirt bikes, but it's like too hot for that right now. Like those bikes, it's like it's fire danger everywhere right now. So I haven't been able to ride my dirt bikes in a while. I need to ride a bike soon. I'm going bonkers. Like I really need to ride again. It's been a while.
Come to Nebraska. We'll go to Menards. We'll get the scooters.
Nope.
Go down the aisles.
Nope. No.
Pick up jars of mayo. It'll be.
Just come here.
Get the grabber.
Take the sidecar
You can
out.
get the stuff from.
That'd be sick. I would love to hop in the sidecar with you and
Yeah.
go to like Pachi's or something. That'd be so good.
Nick Pachi's all the way to New York.
No, Chicago.
Alrighty.
Well, Nick Pachi's in New York. I'm just
Well, do they really? I don't know. Now I sound like I don't know. I've only
no,
ever had it in
Nick
Chicago.
Pachi, not Pachi's restaurant.
Oh, Nick Pachi.
Yeah,
Oh my
Nick
god.
Pachi.
I was talking- anyway, all
Our
right.
listener, hi Nick.
Yeah. Pete, throw your
No.
questions down.
Yeah, I
got
got
me.
another one. So,
Yeah.
Alma, you did something, if I remember correctly, you did something pretty bold. You got into this whole Instagram or online maker community. You're trying to make your presence known, and you were like, I'm going to reach out to the brand that I want to reach out to. And you reached out to a brand that most of us wouldn't think about until we're like at Dan's numbers. Can you kind of talk about that whole, what the plan was and how that went down and all that? And I'm talking about the green and gray one.
The Ryobi.
Yeah.
The good one. The good
The
green
good
one.
one.
The gooder
That's what you heard the CEO of Ryobi
The
said
other
about
green.
Dan. Holy
Oh,
cow.
so Alma already has a connection with that brand. Great.
I
What are
see
you
Dan's
referring
done
to,
his
Dan?
research.
Nothing.
Dan,
Dan's done his research on
Dan's-
me. I see.
Dan, are you praying? Oh, it's new. But yeah, can you talk about the leap of faith you took and how it's led you down this road?
Yeah, I can.
I can and I will.
No, well.
So when I started woodworking, I'm a stay-at-home mom, like first, right? But I wanted to, like I was telling you, like make stuff for my son and our house. And at the time, Festool wasn't in the social media, like they weren't really out there. And on Instagram, this was in like 2015, maybe, I think somewhere around there. And so I was tired of my DeWalt sander, like just making dust everywhere. So somebody had said something about like, oh, there's this, sander like you can get. So I did some research and found that Festool had these amazing 99.9% dust free, right?
You sold all your bikes to buy one sander.
I did. I sold everything.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, so I think, so that's kind of where it started when I found out about them. And so it was back then. I got a sander and a vac, and it was so much money that I never thought that I would spend, in my shop, right? It was, I think at the time, for both, it was about $1,200, I think, for
Sounds about right.
Rotex and a CT. I think I had a MIDI or something was my first one. And so everybody was like, what, like you're insane. Like all the people, all the DIYers and the woodworkers that I knew at that time. And it was kind of like a new thing back then. And so I really just wanted to know more about it. I was so excited about this sander and dust extractor. So I found out that they did classes at Festool, and it's not far from me. It's in Indiana.
How
and
far
so I
is
took a
that?
class there.
Just
It's about 3 hours for me.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. And so that's where I took the class. It's like a 3-day training, and they teach you all about their tools. And honestly, I just fell in love with it. Like, I'm such a nerd about technology and tools. Like, I'm more of like, I would say a tool collector versus like really a woodworker. Like, I just love all the tools. And I fell in love with their whole system. And so I got to meet them and like a lot of the people there. And I think the biggest thing, so I'll backtrack. I fell in love with the sander and the extractor. And nobody, like everybody back then was passing out stickers. Like, it was a big deal. It was like when Jay Bates was like really into it. And for some reason, I think on like a card or something with the sander, there was like a rebate or something. I found out the address of Festool, and I was such a nerd. Like, I'm going to send them my sticker. And I wrote them a note. Like, I was like, hey, you know, as a mom, I'm super thankful for this sander that you've made, an extractor that works so well. Like, I can work right next to my son and not worry about it. And I was like, I just want to thank you. Like, I feel you've been around for over 90 years, and I can't believe that I'm just discovering you. And I'm super excited to like learn more about your products. And I'm taking a training class in 2 months, you know, whatever. And I was like, thanks. Like, it was just one of those things where like, I think being a new mom, like I just got it in me where I had to like send them a note and a sticker. And so I show up for training like a month or two later, and they're like, oh my God, like that's when I first met Sedge and Minnie. And there were so many, I forget the other guy, he's not working there anymore, but they're like, oh my God, Alma's here. Like they knew who I was. And apparently they took my sticker and my note and put it in their conference room.
Oh,
and they were
cool.
So excited about it that like even
They
their
didn't take notes.
CEO
I'm taking
knew
notes.
about it. Yeah. Even their CEO knew about it. Like, and like they would talk about, you know, this letter and this sticker, and this is what they wanted to start becoming and doing and whatever. So yeah, I got to meet like everybody just because of that. And it wasn't like there were no intentions behind it other than like, you know, I just
Thank you.
was really thankful. And like I said, there was no real huge presence. Like they were very much professional tool company first. They had no interest in the DIY like they do now, right? They have no interest in the small wood shop guy, nothing like that. You know, the snapback guy, no interest in that. They didn't care.
But that's us.
Yeah. And so yeah, I took a class and met them, and then I think from there it just so like it developed, right? Like I became really, like I fell really in love with their system and their tools. They all work so great. And I think as far as like building a relationship with them to like, you know, work with them, it really comes down to like just building that relationship, because in all honesty, like I didn't ask them, they approached me, and it was for a paid gig. It was for a product paid gig, and it was an ongoing thing in 2020. So I don't think like you always have to be the one to reach out. I think for me, I made a decision years ago I'm not going to just settle for any tool that a company comes around and says, hey, we want to send you something.
Yes.
I've always been very specific about the companies and the brands that I want to work with and that I like. Those are like, I buy them. I don't just wait or reach out, you know, for companies to give me stuff to then start working with them. Like, I feel like it should be the other way around, because I want it to be authentic. I don't want it to be like, hey, they just sent me this, and it's what do they always say? The what is that called when they're like, oh, this is game changer, right? It's game changer tool.
Revolutionary.
Like, how do you know, right? If you
One of a
if you just
kind.
got it. Yeah, one of a kind. It's so great. It's game changer. For my shop.
The
I just
Apple
got
approach.
Just got it just now. I'm just opening it. Yeah, so I think that's where it started. Whereas I just built that relationship, and that's how it's been with all the companies that I work with. You know, Wall Control, Avid, Festool. Like, I think for me, that's how it's how it starts, is there, like building that relationship. And then if they don't ask you, like, yeah, you can go to them and ask them because you have that relationship. But I feel like I was fortunate enough that I didn't have to. Sorry, Dan, they asked me.
But it's so crazy that like you never know what's going to happen. Like you you're working with one of like the top brands that we would consider one of the top brands, and it in a way fell in your lap because you just were at the right place, right time. You were genuine. You reached out to them. You made them feel a certain way. And they always say, like, people don't forget the way you make them feel. So
Bingo.
you made an impression on them, like left a little note, and sometimes a little note will go a long way.
Yeah. And I'll say, like, I would argue, like, it didn't fall on my lap and I wasn't in the right place.
No,
like I
didn't mean anything by it,
because,
but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I put myself there. I built that relationship, and I like at some point it turned, right? Like I made friends, and then I saw that they were starting to reach out a little bit more, and then I was like, wait a minute, like I could do this, because no one was really making money then, right? If you think about 2015, 2016, even 2017, like there weren't content creators.
Instagram was still photos.
Exactly. It was still photos. Like they didn't even have videos yet. So
remember the good old days.
I know. So I think, like, I feel like now people that come out and they're like, I want to make money doing this. One, I feel it's a lot harder, but also just build those relationships and work towards that. And they'll, those companies should, if they're a good company, they'll see it, right? And they'll recognize that.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome.
Dan, you have any questions? Dan's in shock.
They never asked me if I have questions. This is awkward.
It's okay.
Do you consider yourself a woodworker over a maker currently? Or do you feel like you're still a maker at heart?
That's a great question, because I have a hard time.
I know it's a great question. I asked.
Great. Look at that. They should ask you more to ask
Humble,
questions.
Good looking.
He's gonna need to take a nap in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
He's exhausted.
He's just gonna fall asleep. I struggle with it when people ask me, like, what do you do? Like that whole, like, what do you do for a living? Like I struggle with it, because I think woodworker is so general, but then when if you say maker, it's even more general, right? But
right.
I don't know, like, and I don't feel like I'm a furniture maker. I don't know. I feel like I'm more of a maker that works with wood.
That's how
I
identify. Yeah.
I like
it. Now, do you take commissions, or because you said you're a stay-at-home mom, right? So Dan's a trophy wife, so he can kind of relate.
Accurate.
But like, so you're a stay-at-home mom, but like you're also like kind of a full-time content creator in a way, right?
Yeah, I feel like, well, yeah, this summer I've kind of taken off, and I don't post as much because I'm trying to make sure my son has a great summer.
Which is amazing. Thank you for being an amazing parent.
It's hard work. But I am very fortunate that I get to pick and choose which commission jobs I take, which, content creation jobs I get to take, right? Like, I say no a lot. I pass on a lot of jobs to guys locally that I know. So
I think more people need to hear that, saying no is okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. It's okay. It's not, and saying no once you get an offer too is okay. Like it's not going to be the end of it. There's so much for all of us out here. There's so much work for all of us to be busy. I think I'm fortunate in that respect. Like I do take commissions though. I do say I say no a lot though.
So like,
I like to hear them.
Do you have like a ballpark of like how many hours do you put in a shop since you take commissions on? Like, would you say it's like a part-time job, full-time job, or like just?
It's definitely part-time for me right now. It's definitely part-time, especially summer. Like I haven't done anything. Like I think the last thing I did was they were those backdrops that Mike was doing at the same time. The Ripple that you helped me with.
Oh yeah.
And then I built some 3D sort of backdrops, same kind of design or whatever.
Like backdrops for the
for like balloons or like
the events company.
Yeah, for the event company. And that was earlier in the summer, and that was it. Like I kind of knocked those out, so I didn't have to worry about them. They didn't really have a deadline, and that was it.
That's great.
Now I'm just like, I'll do like a sign. A couple local makers will have me CNC some stuff for them. So I'll take that on, like either templates or signs that they're working on, and they'll bring them here and I'll do them. And pick them up.
See,
So
Awesome.
I love that. 'Cause the reason I was asking that is because, you know, a lot of people in the community, including myself, struggle with like, you know, people ask you like, when are you going full time? Are you full time? You going full time? What, like, you're
Like,
just-
it's this
when
huge
are you-
achievement
When are
and
you going to
goal.
be going like full time woodworker or something? Like when people are like, even like friends and family that are outside the maker community that will, they're kind of ignorant of the fact that like you don't have to just like open up a furniture business or a maker business or a fabrication business, whatever it might be. Like you seem very content in what you're doing, you know, like your family comes first. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
But like you're what is the, I guess I'll ask, like, what is your like next milestone? What is your next goal? Like, what are you trying to achieve with it? Or are you just very happy doing what you're doing? Because like I struggle with that. I have a full-time job, and you know, people ask me all the time, like, oh, when are you going full-time? Like, I work a full-time job and I have a business and I also do content creation. Like, that's a lot. Like, I don't know, you know, I mean, I don't know how these guys do it full-time all the time. Because it seems
A lot
like
of
they have,
naps.
Like, a lot of naps. Mike's the opposite. Like, what's your next, like,
Mike never sleeps.
Mike never, no, he
Between
doesn't.
me and Mike, we're a normal human.
We're 3 time zones.
If you-
Yeah.
Maybe a little higher.
If you
We're 3
average
time
us
zones
out,
and Mike is always awake.
Mike's sleeping right now.
No, I'm just trying to. I'm listening to a conversation that I don't really
Wheezing
feel
in
like I
and-
have much input on because it's like it's like a
No.
different conversation. Like,
And that
it's
is
more
like-
of like from the part-time aspect of it, and I just don't have much to say. But I just don't. I'm listening to this conversation intently.
So like, what's
Sorry.
your, you're good. What's your like plan, or is there a plan, or like what, you know, can you talk about that staying part-time thing?
Yeah. No, I think this right now is good. I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I don't know that I have, I think at times I'm like, yes, I want to be like Dan and Mike and be busy and be able to
Dan's not
like
busy.
really.
Dan's not busy.
I'm glad you get that from my Instagram.
Yeah,
That's my goal, to make people
Have
think
you
I'm
seen
busy.
his page?
Yeah. I don't look at, I don't,
Go ahead, though.
I have them on mute.
I would too.
He
Makes
blocks
sense.
people. It's fine.
That tracks.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I think about going, more in depth with it. I'd love to.
But do you even want to?
I don't. That's where I struggle. Like sometimes I think, yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm sure my wife would love for me to get more jobs out of this, but at the same time too, like the family thing is huge. We do travel and back and forth to Michigan. She travels now for work, so that would definitely hurt. I feel the business part where I couldn't put 100%, and so I think I'm fine with this part-time. I think it'd be cool to help more local makers. Like I love doing that. I love meeting local makers that whether they need to borrow the CNC and bring a project here, like I think that's fun. So yeah, I don't know. Like I don't
Even
really.
if that means you have to meet people like Luke from Luke in the Garage.
You mean put on that, have to set up that camera multiple times for multiple shots as you put makeup on and take it off?
Right. I forgot about that aspect.
But no,
Right.
I do want to stress what Alma said, which is like, I'm fine with insert whatever situation you're in right now. Like I do want to stress that because like all of us want to thrive or strive to be like Mike and Dan, like run businesses, like be more
Love how
successful.
you keep
Be
putting
very-
me in the same
'Cause you
category
are,
as
you're-
I
Mike.
know. Mike's
Listen,
getting mad.
no. Here's the wait. First of all, I'm gonna stop this whole BS. Like, I don't care what volume you're doing. If you run a business,
Yeah.
if you're making money with your thing on the side, you're killing it. You're
Yeah,
like,
you
you're
hear that,
doing it.
Kayla?
You're paying bills. That's no, but because like this is a whole the whole different conversation. But like you're killing it, and then like if you're just comfortable doing what you're doing,
I'm
you're still making
comfortable.
some money, and like
But I'm not on the same
Yes.
level as Mike. I'm comfortable.
no, it doesn't
That's
matter.
it.
Doesn't matter what level. Guess what? There's a guy out there that's crushing Mike with numbers.
Is
There's
there?
let's call him Brad or or Jim or Stan, whatever.
Stan.
Or Alma, But no, but the reality is I'm just trying to bring that up because like Alma, like you're one of the few people that we have had on a podcast that are just like, I'm in there having fun. I want to be part of the community. I'm having a good time. I want to make some money, but also I don't need to make some money.
I mean, yeah, I'm in a really fortunate position, and I know that. Like, I get that. I don't, I don't have to bring in money for this. I'm very lucky in that respect. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it is.
Do you have
really
a lot
nice.
of money left over from your knuckle modeling days, or?
I do. It's all
hand modeling days.
Knuckle rich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is really nice to be able to pick and choose jobs, and pick and choose the projects that look fun, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could just say yes to everything just to like keep that money coming in. I think that's
stressful.
It's got to be.
It is.
And I don't know how Mike does it with, you've got great jobs coming in, but also you're doing amazing with content too. Like I get one job and I'm like, I don't remember to record. I get mad at Instagram and I'm like,
Mike is a machine.
Who wants to see this? I know, like it's
Mike
crazy.
is a beast. Like, he's on I strive to be Mike because he's a monster when it comes to
Have you seen RoboCop?
Yeah.
Yes.
He makes RoboCop.
Mike is nothing like that.
Have you seen the cut where they have you seen the cut where they just have,
Yes.
I gotta share that video with Alma after this.
Yes, I've seen it.
It's so good. It just keeps naked dudes keep coming in and RoboCop keeps shooting off their junk.
Oh my god.
This conversation took a turn.
Golden
Fantastic.
cherries. It's golden cherries.
It's
Golden
so
cherries.
funny, Alma. It's the most ridiculous edit I've ever seen of a video.
So anyway, so Mike is like RoboCop, and you ever seen Paul Blart Mall Cop? So Dan's like, actually, never mind.
On this, he's on a scooter rascal
thing.
On a scooter
on a rascal thing.
It's a Segway. It's a little cooler.
Is a Segway cooler than a rascal?
Absolutely.
Is it?
Because you're standing.
Is it?
I don't know about that.
You're standing. I feel like it's a leg up.
Yeah, I think that like when you start, I mean, if you're in a position to be, do what you want to do. That's the bottom line. Like no one should chase a thing. The problem with chasing a dream is sometimes it's like the dog who gets the car, you get it and you're like, oh wait, that's all it was.
What do I do with this ice cream truck?
Well, sometimes people start chasing a dream because they saw someone else chase a dream and then they think it's their dream. And then they chase the dream and they get to the end and they go, oh man, I actually don't even really care about this. And that's really sad because they've wasted their life. But if you people who do that aren't very self-reflective or contemplative. They end up finding themselves in situations where they go, I think I want to do this because I saw someone else do it. They're easily influenced, I guess is the word. And they see someone else do it and they go, oh, this person's doing it. It looks like they're going to be happy. I bet I'll find happiness doing that. And then they start doing it and they go, oh man, I actually don't like this. And then they get to the end of the road or somewhere down the road and they go, man, I just wasted a bunch of time. What?
We like the easily influenced, by the way.
Oh yeah. You guys
thanks to our sponsors.
Yeah.
It's you need to know what it is you actually want to do. And I don't agree with everything Pete was saying, but I do agree with the fact that you don't need to chase. You need to stop and go, okay, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
What do I want to do? What's the thing I really want to do? There is no like right answer for everyone. Like you don't need to do something because someone else did it. And I think some people, I get questions all the time from people like, hey, how do I do this? And I'm like, oh man, I can kind of feel like I can tell who isn't into this because they like, I love growing I love woodworking. Number one, I love growing my business. There is a cap, like there is not an unending amount of growth I want to see for my business, but I'm like probably 3-4 years away from where I want it to be. And then that's where I kind of want to hold it steady from there. But right now,
and then you're just going to ride around the country in BMW motorcycles.
Yeah, it's going to be dope.
We're
Mom
in
and I are going to race through
Chicago. Hire a
Chicago.
driver.
Hell yeah.
Shooting criminals.
Well, Mike, you're right. You
gotta have dreams, man.
You gotta figure out.
No,
Mike, you are right. Like you got to figure out with like what level of naps per day you're okay with. That's like where you want to be in life. Like, do you want to do this part time? Do you want to be Mike Coffee? And there's no wrong answer.
I don't think you should put people in the standard. I think you need to visualize yourself as that thing and go, oh, is that going to actually be the thing I want to be? I think that's what's really important. This conversation got really deep, but the bottom line is like, Alma, you're doing what you want to do. And that's what people, not the thing that you're doing isn't what people should look to. People should look to that you are doing what you want to do. And other people should go, I need to look for what I want to do. And, you know, sometimes it's not really, I mean, we need to be very honest with ourselves. Like sometimes the things people want to do, you can't pay the bills with. So you need to find yourself a job that you can pay the bills so you can afford to do the thing you want to do. I think
bro, I could buy a house being a macaroni artist. Don't tell me that.
Exactly. So Nebraska is just a different economy. So,
Finger paint pays the bills.
Yeah, you can make 200,000 Nebraska bucks, and that's like $13,000.
You can
macaroni artist, Casey chef.
No, it's that there's some people go, oh, they have a job that they don't like or really hate, and then they do this thing on the weekend that they love. I love woodworking, I love macaroni art, whatever the thing is that they love. They think, oh, well, this guy on the internet did it, I should do it. Well, sometimes you do the thing you love and it turns into your job and you hate that too. And what it turns out is that you just hate working like that, and that's fine. Like sometimes people just hate that repetitive grind, and that's okay. You need to find ways to make it's really hard to take something you love, turn it into a job, and then not think of it as a job all of a sudden. It's really hard. So you got to figure out what that is.
I hated taking on woodworking commissions. That was stressing me out. It made me not enjoy woodworking.
Plastic robots.
I got plastic robots.
Yeah. I mean, you got to feel like, what do you enjoy?
But it let me become a woodworker for fun again.
Right. You know? And that's what Pete needs. Pete needs the maker world to be.
Pete has needs.
Yeah, Pete has needs. Needs.
Damn
it. No. So Pete needs. He's gonna
make a knee joke.
Pete needs this to not be his job. That's kind of, I think, the bottom line. Like Pete needs this to not be his job.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Not only on top of that, is there nothing wrong with that? If you think there is, Pete owes you no explanations, and neither does Dan. Like all the jokes about Dan, you know, the jokes we make about Dan doesn't matter because Dan loves what Dan does.
Yeah,
and that's
and guess what? Dan pays
matters.
3 naps a day.
Dan takes vacation. Dan's living life. Alma's living life.
Alma only owes an explanation to her wife, and they need to figure out their things together. So, and that's the bottom line. So, like Alma can do whatever she wants to do as long as they're both in agreement.
I do what I want.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
yeah,
you do. What I want.
I don't tell her shit. I do what I want.
This took a turn. I didn't.
You think she's going to listen to this, or
no? She'll never listen.
She'll never listen.
That's why I talk about Kayla on the podcast. She ain't.
Hey, honey, say nothing if I can buy this tool. Okay.
No, so yeah, it's all varying degrees. There's no like right. That'd be so lame if there was like a right answer for everyone. Like that'd be such a lame life.
Yeah.
Like if there was like an equation that worked for people, it just doesn't.
Yeah,
work
but
that way.
I mean, I think I can see what Pete's saying, but I totally see. Like I get what you're saying too, Mike. It's just I think social media makes it hard though because we see people going full time, and it's like, oh, full time, yes, congrats, you went full time, that's awesome, and you know everybody thinks that they need to go full time, and I think what Pete's saying is like, no, you don't. Like that shouldn't be the goal. Like it should be, you know,
the goal should just be
exactly what I was saying. The goal should be whatever it is you want it to be.
The goal should be whatever makes you happy.
Happiness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're all just happy. I just want to be happy.
This went off the rails and got real
deep.
deep.
No, it didn't. It was a great conversation. I disagree. That was a great conversation.
No. I mean,
but let's jump. Let's jump into. Oh, Pete, sorry. Do you want to go to questions?
No.
Go to question.
Oh, wait. We can't miss what's on my bench.
What's happening?
No. Whoa, Dan, what?
What's on my bench? You guys almost went right over what's on my bench.
No, hold on. Everyone quiet. No one say anything.
What's on my bench?
That's our what's on my bench jingle.
I was all jammed up because I haven't heard that in like over 2 weeks.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm going to throw it to Alma. Alma, what do you got going on right now?
I have not much at all.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we did this.
I did. Well, I've been on like summer break, guys. Come on.
Well, tell us about your break, and have you been anywhere fun?
I'm getting there, Dan. Why don't you quit interrupting me?
Damn, Dan.
That's what I do. All right.
Worst podcast.
All right.
Who booked me on this shit? I've been trying to organize my shop more. Like when I do get time out here at night, I've been trying to just reorganize things. I'm gonna figure out like scrap lumber stuff, and I did just replace my mini split because it died, and so I put a new one in today so I could be all cool in here because it was terrible. Even if it's
Literally
cooler
cool.
outside, it's like hot in here, like 85, 90 degrees, even if it's 70 degrees outside. It's so crazy. So yeah, I've just been working on that, like trying to get my shop ready for when my kid goes back to school, and then
When's
I can
that?
get more projects in I think like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, nice.
So yeah, so then I'll be able to have that time.
Oh, sure.
during the
Mike
day.
asks a question mid-sentence and he's fine.
Oh God.
That's pretty annoying to say that right in the middle of her statement.
Dan, I think
Go
you're
ahead,
muted. You're muted.
Oh, am I muted? Oh.
Yeah, so then I think in a couple weeks I'll be able to start some more projects, which will probably be house projects for now.
Awesome.
Nice.
Very cool. Dan, what do you got going on?
Well, not a whole lot.
That's great. Mike, what do you got going on?
She gets it. She gets
Alma
it.
fits in quick.
Way too much.
What we like Alma.
Dan's like, where's my list? Where's my list? Where's my list?
I have a heart attack.
Oh my God.
That was
such a great
no
big
episode.
Alma.
Dan, I can't handle you dying on every episode.
I feel like I had a huge what's on my bench last week, but I forgot all about it.
Something about a beam. Somebody,
Even Max is
cameraman.
upset. Oh yeah. That's kind of the big thing this week.
Why do I know more? Never mind.
You don't even want to know. So my wife's cousin, who we met up with when we went to Hawaii, he was in the Marines, but he's out now, and he moved back here to Omaha. I don't know why you would leave Hawaii and move to Omaha.
Next break.
Lost a bet.
I think he lost the bet. I'm gonna be honest. But he's a surf photographer and a videographer, and we were talking. He came over and we had coffee and we were talking. And did I mention we were talking?
Were you guys drinking any beverage?
Oh man,
Yeah,
this
coffee, I
episode
think.
sucks.
And so we come up with a little plan that he's gonna come out here once a week, and we're gonna
Steal nuclear top secret documents.
I have no idea what that's in reference to. Wish I knew what that was about.
Cool.
I don't know. I was just making random jokes. It's Thursday. Y'all get crazy.
So my
Just
plan
play
is
the fifth if you
to
have nothing.
my plan is to jump back into YouTube, and he's gonna help me out with that, and he's gonna be my videographer / like editor, and we've worked out a pretty nice deal, and I'm really excited about that. So be on the lookout on my YouTube channel. I'm probably going to launch a little sneak peek little video that we recorded yesterday. We're recording on Thursday, so we recorded that on Wednesday. Aside from that, Etsy orders keeping me busy, yada yada. Everybody knows that. I feel like a broken record at this point. Huge shout out to Scott Holland from Elevated Wood Design over there in Idaho. Scott went to my Etsy store and bought like every species that I offer for the Laguna Fusion F1, F2 saw. So thank you, Scott. You're gonna keep me busy in the shop on the CNC there for a while. I've also been working on the faux beams. I know I've been talking about those a lot lately. That's been interesting. So my plan is to make them look seamless. So I instead of doing a miter on the corners, I did a pretty deep rabbit, like a deep rabbit.
It looks really good.
But when I put a heavy round over on it, it looks really seamless and it's blended really well. So it's coming out nicely, and I'm finished those with Rubio white as per the client ask and request, words hard podcast. I do. Rubio white on white oak looks fantastic, you guys.
Yeah,
have you?
Gorgeous.
Oh my goodness.
That's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing the dining table out of for the house. Yeah.
Oh,
it's my favorite.
It's so nice.
Which white did you do? Super white or cotton white or
just white?
5%?
Just white.
White, just regular white. Nice.
Just white. Yeah. Just straight up white. I didn't do anything. I didn't mix it with pure. I didn't do any of that. It's just white. And
Yeah,
it
I really
looks
like super white on the.
amazing. It's just a good modern like look.
I did
really
cotton
like
white on an ash like entryway table, and that because the cotton white has the most white load. That has the most white of the 4 whites available.
Okay.
It sounds like a weird conversation.
Correct.
But yeah, it has the most white, but it looked really good on ash.
Golden cherries.
Yeah, golden cherries.
Does Rubio make a golden cherry?
They make a golden cherry. It's you have to buy it in sets of 2 though. Anyway, what about your beams?
So I've been slowly working on those. I've also made a display shelf for a referee or an umpire from the Division III 2021 National Baseball Championships. I know that's a lot of words.
Sounds fake. No one can fact check that, but go ahead.
That's
That's a lot of words.
This guy, his name's Josh. He
Cool.
was a umpire for the national championship for the D3 2021 baseball championships, and he reached out to me and asked me if I could make a display shelf because he was an umpire for that game. Or games. He asked me if I could make a display shelf because they gave him like a game ball and a watch and like several other things. So I've been working on that. It looks really nice. It looks like a home plate, which everybody on Pinterest has probably seen like a home plate display shelf. But I mitered all the corners and gave them a spline, and it looks really, really sexy. I made it out of walnut, and I'm going to be delivering that in the next day or 2. So that's what's been on my bench. Pete, you want to go next?
Hey, that's me. I'm the guy with that name. So what's on my bench? Well, I'm gonna backtrack to 2 weeks ago. I went to Friends on a Farm because we never got to talk about that.
Oh, right.
So that was Adrian's.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there. You guys were there in spirit. But it's Adrian from Hickory Homestead Creations. Barbara herself through the event.
That looked fun.
It was a lot of fun. So
I was watching the stories from like everybody that was there that I follow, and that looked hella fun.
She ended up like dialing it back like with the promotion of it, and ended up being like I think like 8 or 9 people or something, and great food. Like her and her family cooked everything. They made chicken.
Did you get grits?
We didn't get grits, but we got chicken that was made in a Dutch oven that was cooked on a fire. It's pretty good. Ooh. Oh, so good. But I met a lot of cool people. David Wirt drove out from I think he's in Kansas.
Rustic Joy.
Yeah, Rustic Joy. So he drove really far. Speaking of golden cherries, he got a pair of them from Alma's other persona on his truck. But got to hang out with him there. He actually stopped by on the way back. But I got to do some chainsaw milling for the first time ever. That was super fun.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked to me, so like I said, I was watching all the stories, but it looked to me like Adrian had you guys all out there and you were doing manual labor for her.
Yeah, and it was great.
She tricked you all into coming out there and doing manual labor for free.
I think David tricked us because I think he drove away with 2 of those slabs. Oh. So, but it basically talked Adrian into making getting a chainsaw mill. But it was a lot of fun to mill that up. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's so much work.
Mike, your comment on that post was like, it's a lot of work. I was like, yeah, it is. I like felt it in my back and stuff, and I only did one of them.
Have you tried doing it with a rascal?
Dan, I'm not quite close enough to Nebraska to ride a rascal around the store. So
chainsaw milling with a rascal.
So I got to run a chainsaw mill. I got
to Olympic event.
Ride in a tractor, ride a quad around. It was an automatic, so I didn't kill myself. But then we had generally just a great time there. It was nice to kind of meet everyone and hang out. Hung out with John DeResta, Jimmy's brother, which was pretty cool. He's a funny dude. He's a comedian, and I never knew this. He's actually a woodworker too. He's based out of LA, but he does a lot of reclaimed furniture. And he makes furniture out of wood that has been like, I don't want to say harvested,
In the Hudson River.
No, weirder. Celebrities' houses. So like he had like Spock's.
It smells like Madonna.
Yeah, the guy that played Spock, like his shed, and like he made a series of furniture that was made from the wood that was from the shed that belonged to Spock. Like really weird, but like
Leonard Nimoy, by the way.
Leonard Nimoy, thank you. I was blanking on it. But like this is the most like LA thing I have ever heard in my life. So it was kind of cool to see some of the projects he was working on.
That's actually a very niche, like
it's super niche. And like, like how crazy
I only
is that?
make furniture from trees that fall on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Wednesday Woodworks.
It's a Wednesday
www.www.com. So terrible advertising.
I've actually seen some of his work when I was in LA a few years ago. He sells, I don't know if he still does, but he was selling his woodworking at the Melrose like flea market or something. I forget what it's called. Melrose flea market or
sorry, that's what I bring to the show.
The reason why I saw his stuff and like it stood out was he's got a tent and he had this giant sign. He made a bunch of them that said life is like a dry hand job.
Box of
and those were signs. Yeah, those are signs that he sells at the flea market.
John
he had furniture too.
John is very direct.
He's very direct though.
He's very direct though. I see a lot of his brother in him. But anyway, so that whole event was fun. I got to do a lot of fun stuff. We did a bunch of shooting of bows. I pulled into the event. I was one of the last people to arrive. And everyone, like Dave Meow, Dave Wirt, Adrian, they were all aiming arrows at me because they were shooting bows. That was super fun. No one accidentally fired because I would have been impaled.
Oh, they were blank arrows.
Yeah, blanks. They were shooting blanks like you, Dan. Aside from that, but sorry.
I have 2 kids.
I know. I'm kidding. Clearly, you have proof. I get it. Confirmed. Yeah, it's confirmed.
I think so.
Yeah,
my wife said they were mine.
They look like him.
They look exactly like Kayla and not you. So there might be some questions after this episode.
All right. I'm glad this took a turn. All right. Everybody hates Dan.
John looks like Tiny Dan 100%. John is Tiny Dan.
John. Poor John.
Handsome Tiny Dan.
There we go.
So,
thank you.
Aside from that, because I finally got all the printers or mostly assembled, so they're all making their way down to the basement. And I'm like, I don't know where to put these.
Making my way downtown.
Making my way down to the basement. And I'm reworking the basement shop a little bit for the print shop. I might actually be moving it to a different spot in the basement, but we'll figure that out later down the line. So I got a lot of work to do down there, but that's gonna be after we get back from vacation. I'm working on that ice climbing tool project, which is just a lot of routing. I actually had a bearing on a roundover bit, like just a regular router bit, just explode on me, and the pieces of it went everywhere. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize
the little tiny bearings.
Yeah, the tiny little bearing at the end of it, so makes it so that
you lost your tiny balls.
All the balls just went flying all over. I didn't know that like the router bit could do that. It makes sense now, but let's add that to my list of fears. Cool. Luckily I was wearing brown khaki pants, so that's fine. Aside from that, I'm making like real good, like getting ahead of the schedule, whatever. I'm making good headway. That's what it is.
Did you know you could buy a roundover bit for your CNC?
I know, but I don't cut them.
I have one.
They come.
That's how I do my ripple panels.
They come pre-cut to me from Send company. So I have to do all the rounding over. But I actually made some good headway. I'm ahead of the schedule on that. I was hoping to wrap that up. I might wrap that all up tomorrow before we leave on Saturday. So we'll see about that. And then got a bunch of new tools and random things in a shop. I got a bunch of boxes from some brands that I've been talking to.
Yes.
Game changers?
I got a game changer tool.
Honestly, some of them, yeah. So there's just some
I forgot to mention that.
The Harvey, the miter.
Yes.
What is it? Miter gauge. And it's like
MG36 compass.
Really nice. I still haven't tried it out because my table saw right now is a routing station, but it looks really solid. And I got a bunch of Bridge City tools and
Bird City?
pretty? Bridge City.
Bridge City.
very pretty, and I'm very excited to actually try them out. I want to see how they perform, because if they perform as well as they look, I'm gonna be very happy. Also got a chopstick making kit, which I'm really stoked for because I love chopsticks.
I've always wanted one of those.
They look so neat.
What's a chopstick?
A chopstick is like a fork, but
with an axe
it's
handle.
not plastic, Dan, and it's Dan's from Nebraska. I got those tools.
Well, it would make sense if it had like an axe head, you would use it to chop.
Stop it. And the one thing I'm actually really excited to try out is I got to talking to the guy from Carbon Method. The guy Mark Spagnuolo talked about it.
Oh yeah,
it's the ceramic coating for your cast iron. They have some wood finishes too that are ceramic coatings. And he sent me out a sample, and I'm really excited to refinish my joiner. Mike was talking about. Actually, you told the story. You should mention it in What's on a Bench about cleaning up the cast iron on the joiner. My joiner looks really rough. It's right by the garage door, and I guess over the last year of opening it up, it got a little rusty. So need to clean that up, and I'm gonna try that Carbon Method stuff and see how it works.
Rusty tool.
It's a rusty tool. So with that, Mike, what's going on with you?
Oh, we're just busy, real busy. New building is done.
Yeah.
How many buildings you got now? 4, 5, 6, 9?
3 buildings.
He tore down 4 little ones, but one big one.
Put in one big. Yeah. So I got spray booth, which is just a shed, and then I got the main building, and then I got the new building, and then we have the shipping container for all the wood storage. But we got the building is done. All the interior stuff is done. We got all the framing and trim done. Did everything out of ash. Did birch ply on all, or white birch ply on all the walls. Ash for the baseboards, ash for the seam trims, all case, all the window and the doors.
Thermally modified ash or the just regular?
No, just ash. I got it for such a good price. I couldn't believe how good the price was.
If you don't mind, what price are you getting that for?
$325 for 4-quarter ash.
Ouch! Nice.
Isn't that cheap? I sell it.
Awesome.
I was like, just get me 60 sticks. I always use ash. I love ash. I think I use it for so many things.
Give me all the ash.
I love that ash.
I'm an ash.
I love that
man,
ash too.
Everyone knows. Yeah, girl.
White ash, brown ash, cracker ash.
Big ash, little ash.
Thermally modified cracker ash.
No, we got all the trim up in there. Got the laser room framed out. I went and picked up. So when I did the electrical for the shop, for the main shop now, everything. I don't know if the guys remember, if anyone remembers, but
I tune everything out. I don't
like 3-4 weeks to get everything in because of how bad supply chain was for like copper and stuff back then. It was in the middle of COVID and stuff.
Are you making your own wire?
No, I'm not. This isn't Nebraska, Dan. We buy it out here.
Thought you were like
it's a noodle
weaving your own copper wire.
No, I actually went down to the place today and I was like, I'm gonna order this. It'll come in next week. I'll get it done after I go to IWF. But they had everything in stock. I was shocked. So I actually went down and picked up all the electrical stuff and brought it today. So my uncle's gonna come on Monday, and him and I are gonna start working on the electrical. So we're gonna run a sub panel into the shop. Blah blah blah. Anyway, I'm really excited about that. Gonna get the laser in there. Gonna get the CNC in there. I think I mentioned it. I don't know if we've done any episodes, but I ordered my slab flattener. What's up?
So are you keeping the garage as a packing area, or are you going to move that into the new space?
The shipping station is good. So this is what I'm trying to figure out. So I can't I can't talk too much about the things, but those big projects I'm landing.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is going to require a lot of dunnage. I'm going to need like a lot of shipping. Like I'm going to need pallets. I'm going to need stickers. We're going to need all kinds of stuff. So I'm trying to figure out like another building. Unfortunately, I'm trying to figure out like another building right now for because so here's the other thing.
It makes sense.
I mean, unfortunately, right now it kind of makes sense. Like I'm thinking about like another building that's just a dirt floor building, literally something I can just put stuff in there out of the rain and in the weather, and it doesn't need to be like kept like real watertight. I just need it not directly in the rain. So I think I'm going to do like a dirt pad building down below. And because I'm also trying to bring in more of that carbon smart lumber, and I want a space to store that because I'm buying what's the matter, Dan?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Oh, you look super bummed out.
No.
I was just worried you lost your audio. I've seen that face before. It makes me scared. No, anyway, I'm bringing in like 5, which I want to announce this. I'm bringing in 5,000 board feet of English walnut in the next couple, like after I get back from from IWF. I'm going to be bringing that in. We're going to be storing that in the new building until this new slab flattener comes in. So the slab flattener is going to be in about 2 months. So he's got to weld everything up and then drive it out from Pennsylvania, and then he assembles it and then shows me how to use the thing. But it's pretty simple. So, so yeah, we just got a lot of stuff going on right now. I had a good customer of mine come with an emergency expedite project. We're building out her restaurant. We're doing 10 tables for her restaurant right now. I won't go into the details, but we got to get everything done by Tuesday.
Are you doing the bases or just the tabletops?
Bases are coming. I ordered the bases. They're going to be here Saturday. So it's 17 bases in total. So the company typically I buy all my bases from Bidwell Wood and Iron. That was not in the budget for this project. They will be anyway. It wasn't in the budget for this phase of the project. The lady had my customer had a series of events happen to where she couldn't spend that kind of money on these tables right now. So she needed tabletops, and we're making the 10 tabletops. We actually have all but 2 of the tabletops glued up now. So Monday, we got everything dialed. Tuesday, I ran down. I picked up like 400 board feet of maple. I ordered the bases. The base will be here Saturday. We got all the wood. We've been working on it nonstop the last 2 days. So we're going to start getting finish on everything tomorrow. Get those knocked out. And also, sorry, I'm gonna have a long what's on my bench, Alma. I'm sorry. We haven't done one in a while. So last week, I think it was last week or the week before, we had built this. I designed this. I took inspiration from online, but I designed this base for this white oak table, this 5-foot diameter white oak table. And the style wasn't for me. The customer really loved it, but man, I'm really proud of the craftsmanship that Sean and I put into that table. That table was tricky
really nice
to build, and it came out like flawless. I'm really happy with how that came out. It was just a really, really cool table that I'm really proud of.
That was a dining room table, right? It was around?
Yes, it was. 5-foot diameter, 60-inch diameter. So it was really nice. It came out really cool. And then we're just doing these tables right now, and I got some other stuff I'm going to announce probably in the next few weeks. I got some really exciting news, but I can't really share it until some I's are dotted and some T's are crossed. But we're really excited about that stuff over here. We're just busy. We got a lot going on. I'm trying to think. All the marketing material is done for Coffee Grinds, the coffee label. We're gonna I'm super excited about the coffee brand. Had a nice meeting with my partner, the lady who's the roaster. She's my coffee roaster. I'm really excited to do this venture with her because she takes a lot of pride in her product. She makes really good coffee. And the first order of 60 bags is in. I'm hoping to have everything figured out by tomorrow. I'm hoping to have like the pre-sale open on Saturday for all that. And all the listings are done on the site, but I just need to make them all live. So I needed to get some final things figured out for that. But the coffee, I'm really excited for people to try this coffee. It is really legitimately good coffee, and I'm a snob with coffee. So
what's the name again?
Coffee Grinds.
Should have been Coffee
awesome.
Ground.
So so we're doing that's going to be releasing. Well, labels are on their way, and she picked up all the coffee for the first like several hundred bags. She also still has her own line of coffee, but she picked it up today, and she's going to start brewing immediately. So we're gonna get that hitting the streets pretty soon. So hopefully hopefully people love the coffee. That's the thing I'm the most excited about, is people trying this coffee. It's really good stuff. So but I can go on for a little longer, and I won't. I told Alma we'd get her out of here with
let's get
close to
questions.
an hour. So let's get to some questions here.
Close.
The first question is from John. He had a great question last week that we did not get to, so I wanted to get to his first.
Hey guys, it's John with Huntington Builds. I got a couple, hopefully quick questions for you today. I'm working on a cabinet for a customer that wants it ebonized ash. So I'm going to be staining it with a black gel stain and then a black alcohol ink stain over the top of that. But since not everything is black, I wanted to stain the black parts first and then assemble it. Is there issues with doing it in that order if I'm using dominoes and I tape off the glue joints prior to staining? Second question is, I've got that home right sprayer that Dan recommends, and I was going to just spray the cabinet with poly after it dries. for a day or two, unless there is an alternative you'd recommend instead for a finish. The top is going to be walnut with a Rubio finish. Let me know what you guys think is best. Thanks, guys.
Dan, you recommended that sprayer. You go first.
Yeah, let me tackle that part of the question first. I do recommend that sprayer, but I've only ever used water-based polyurethane, polyacrylic, if you will, in that sprayer. It's fantastic when it comes to that. I can't speak to the fact that if it will work with an oil-based polyurethane. I can't imagine why it wouldn't, but it's great for the water-based polyurethane. As far as the black stain and black alcohol ink, have you looked into using India ink? India ink is a wonderful quote unquote black stain, especially.
I think that's what the alcohol, the second thing is. I thought that's what India ink was.
I think he was talking about the India, like he's saying using one or the other or both.
I thought he said he was going to use both. He was going to do a coat
It
of
sounded like both.
ebony
but-
stain
it
and
sounded
then
like both.
I think it's going to be both, which I don't know why he'd need to do that.
no,
India
you wouldn't
ink-
need to
Yeah.
do it if you just did
Yeah.
India ink, and then you could
Yeah.
put the polyacrylic right over that as well. And I believe he was asking,
Pop-
would there be any issues if he
assembly.
taped over the joints? There shouldn't be. India ink is pretty watery, and it will creep under the tape a little bit, but that won't be a problem if you're just trying to keep the finish or the stain off the glue joint. So you should be fine there. What do you think, Michael?
So I
You're
wouldn't
not in
do
trouble.
poly. I wouldn't do poly myself. I would spray a lacquer for a cabinet, because lacquer, for me, in my opinion, poly is a durability finish. You don't really need a durability finish on a cabinet. It's not like a high traffic piece of furniture.
But
It's a
it
medium to
sounded
low.
like he was putting a top. So like it would be a
Yeah,
cabinet,
he's doing
like a
Rubio
lower
for
cabinet.
the top. He's doing Rubio for the top, is what he said. And he's going to do, the cabinet is going to be, he's going to spray poly, and he's going to do Rubio for the actual top that is going to be handled. So that's already set. That's how I would do it. I would do a Rubio on the top, and I would do lacquer on the cabinet, because it's going to go so much faster. That's how
Oh, yeah,
I would
for sure.
do it. That's
Yeah.
how I would do the cabinet.
Or do the
So
water-based poly. It'll dry. Pretty fast.
Water-based poly will dry fast. But the nice thing about the water-based, well, I mean, most water-based products will burn into themselves, but water-based lacquer is so fast, and it's so nice, and it's so forgiving when you spray it. Water-based lacquers are amazing. They're the way to go, and they're super durable. Acrylic products are so nice, and obviously less chance of flammability and less chance and there's lower VOCs. Not that there's no VOCs. You need to get a volatile organic compound mask, but there's less harm to your body with that stuff. So if it was me, I'd be doing lacquer for the body or for the carcass, and then Rubio for the top. That's one of my favorite looks, especially if it's like a walnut, because lacquer will not make walnut look as good as Rubio will, bottom line. So the Rubio is just gonna look really nice. In terms of the assembly of the carcass, or I'm sorry, the assembly of the other part with the stain and the India ink or the alcohol based, it was India ink, right? Did I mishear that?
India ink.
No.
I'm
I
pretty sure.
suggested India ink. He wanted to
Okay.
do a
Yeah.
2-part system.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I would just do the ebony stain. I don't know why you'd need to do 2 on there. Another
Maybe he
option
wants
that
it
you
to
may
be
look into-
extra black.
but like the ebony stains are so dark.
Yeah.
Like I just can't imagine any more than that.
I think you can get a root. So you can get
gonna
Rubio
say
Intense
Rubio.
Black.
Yeah, that's what
Actually.
I was gonna say. Go Rubio Intense Black, and then do Rubio Black over that, and then that thing's gonna look amazing. That's where I was going with this. Is I would pull out any of those other 2 options, and it's a
You had me
pricier
at
option,
pull
but
out.
it's so much, yeah. But it's a better option in my opinion. So Alma, what do you think?
I think if you have the money or the budget for Rubio, then yes, Rubio all the
Yeah.
way for both. But if it's just the cabinet, and you want to save some money, then I would go India ink, and then your preferred finish, whatever that would be, whether it be, a water base or whatever.
Whatever it is that you like.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Rubio, obviously, for the win, for the top. But I really like India ink versus an ebony stain. I hate any kind of stains. I don't know why, but I think the Rubio, or I'm sorry, I think the India ink, when it comes to ebonizing and making it black, like it just looks so much better than,
Yeah.
to me personally,
Agreed.
than like a stain or whatever else he was talking about.
It soaks into the wood a lot better.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
can see the grain.
really affordable. I mean, it's really cheap.
Yeah, it's
you can get it
super
on Amazon.
cheap, and yeah, you don't need a lot of it. And yeah,
cheap.
so I think if depending on your budget, yeah, that's the way I would go.
Peter.
So I'll kind of go least expensive to most expensive and say that, so India, the India ink, the base for the India ink, most India inks is actually shellac, which is a finish in its own. So if you really were trying to save money, or if this was for you or whatever, like I have made projects with just India ink, done 2 coats of that, got it ultra black, and done nothing else. You could technically do that because it will have a bit of a finish to it. But if you want to give it some more protection, I'm with Mike. I would spray some kind of lacquer on that. The other option is, like they said, Rubio black or intense black. I've never applied it myself. I've seen it applied when we were at the Austin event. It looked really rich, really nice, and it pops on anything.
The intense black is like India ink.
Yeah.
But smells like Rubio.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic.
That's the other thing. It's like the no VOCs on that. But yeah, definitely spray some kind of lacquer on it. I've never sprayed polyurethane. I've only done a wipe on or roll on or something like that. But yeah, I'd probably go with a lacquer instead. And as far as I'm assuming, so he was asking pretty much about like pre-assembly and the finish going around the edges and like being trouble for glue. You said you were going to use dominoes. They're going to help you a lot in that. You definitely want to tape off whatever you can and be careful to not soak it into the end grains when you're, gluing the areas up. Do the best you can, but you're not going to be able to protect it all, because no matter which one you use, it's not a finish, it's a stain or pigment, and it's going to soak into that grain. So it's going to bleed over a lot. So you're going to be relying on those dominoes.
But you're right. The dominoes are going to do most of it.
Dominoes are going to do a lot of work, but make sure to tape off, glue as much as you can. They'll help you out a lot. So I agree.
Maybe cut the dominoes after you do the staining, if that's a possibility.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. What he's saying is drill the holes after. Cut. Yeah,
Yes.
same thing. When you say cut, I got confused.
Dominoes. Gosh dang. The next question is from Kimani von Strayhorn. My brain just imploded on itself as well. This is from Kimani.
Hey everybody, it's Kimani from Band Street Designs, and I have 3 questions for Alma. They're pretty short, so you'll be able to get through them fast. So I'll start with Alma. You do a lot of collaboration projects, and you're super supportive of other makers and the maker community. Do you have a favorite collaboration that you've done so far, or maybe something in the works that you're super excited about when it's ready to be released? Number 2. I've picked up a couple of locations from your stories and from your videos, but how many hiding spots do you have for your candy and your snacks? And number 3, which I think is the most important question, and a lot of people have been wondering this, are you Alma wearing a Luke in the Garage suit, or Luke wearing an Alma suit? The people need to know. I met you at WorkbenchCon, so I know there's only one of you out there. We deserve an answer. That's it for my questions. Thank you for your time, and all hail the Petty Kingdom.
All right, so Alma, 3 questions.
That was really quiet. First of all,
yeah,
come on, you're
really,
fired.
really quiet. So, what is your favorite collaboration with another maker? How many hiding spots do you have for all the candy in your shop? And are you Luke in an Alma costume, or are you Alma in a Luke costume?
All hail the Petty Kingdom.
All hail the Petty King.
No, all hail the Petty King.
The Petty King.
Yeah, which is Wilby Designs. Ben Pake, Petty King.
The Petty King. Dan, I know you think you're the Petty King.
Yeah, no.
There's more of you.
You're not the Petty King. It's Ben.
All right.
You're Petty King Light. They're like a free subscription.
Yeah.
The pettiness.
It sounds like a place where you go get your toenails done. Or something.
Yes.
The Petty King Light.
Petty King Light 2.
Could you tell me where that is? I could use that. I'd show you, but
So what's your favorite collab with another maker?
Oh man, I honestly, like, the best collab that I've done was with Luke on those reels that we did.
That was so funny.
Yeah,
so
they
funny.
were great. We had a really good time.
Beard.
Yeah, and he's just like so full of ideas like that, you know. Like we'll just be taught, like the whole snack, me having hidden snacks was just by accident. I forget how it started. Oh, I have one of those little drawers on my saw stop on the side, you know, they're 3D printed.
Oh yeah. In the
he
bar.
saw it. Yeah, he saw it. He pulled it open. I have lifesavers in there because I had done a reel like I don't know a couple weeks ago, and they were like I put them in there for that reason. And then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna leave them in there, and it's great now. I always have lifesavers in there. So he thought it was hilarious. He's like, you have a snack. Like he was cracking up, like genuinely cracking up that I have snacks in there. And I was like, oh, bro, I have snacks all over my shop. And I don't really, but we kind of planted, you know, some snacks around. But I do have snacks in my cabinet, and then I have the lifesavers. So there's only 2 spots right now that I have.
2 official spots.
2 official spots, yeah. Was that it?
And then which one are you?
I can't disclose.
Can't disclose.
Yeah.
I want to jump in here and say the first time that I found you on the internet is when you did a collab with April, where April came to your house and rebuilt your back porch. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
That was a couple years ago, right?
That was in 2019.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember watching that video.
2018 or 2019, one of those 2, yeah.
That was a fun video.
Yeah, it was me, April and Aaron Longfellow from Maker Gray.
Yes.
Who is at the time was her assistant. They came here. Like we were talking about something, like we'd become friends in the through Instagram, and we would chat on there often and like FaceTime and whatever. I don't really know how it like really started, but the 3 of us would start chatting, and we'd send each other videos or whatever. And I think April was like looking for a new project or something she had to do with a sponsor. I think it was a stair sponsor, and her like the project she had wasn't ready. And I was like, oh my God, I need stairs. I'll do my stairs. Like it was like totally like on a whim, you know, like, oh yeah, I need stairs. Like we totally been talking about redoing our back stairs. And then the 3 of us were just like that would be so fun. Like we'd get to hang out and let's
cool.
do it. And she had
it looked really fun.
Yeah, and we did it.
I remember watching that video going, man, that looks fun.
Yeah, it was 2.5 day build that we did it. And it was cool. It was just the 3 of us. My neighbors thought it was amazing, like 3, you know, girls, right? Like just tearing out a porch and putting a new porch in. And that was the first time Justin had come to do a video for us. So that video was Justin's first video for
Justin,
interesting.
maybe. Yeah.
Justin, maybe, yeah. So it was the first time we had all met him in person. And we just hung out, and like it was a blast. It was so much fun.
That's so
interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Was that it for the breakdown on that, Pete?
Yeah. All 3 of them.
Okay. All right. And the next question
Thomas
is from our friend Thomas. He's in France, and he's wonderful.
Hey everybody, it's Kimani.
That's the wrong one.
That's not Thomas.
French.
Hey guys, it's Thomas from France, and I have a few questions for Alma. First, did you finish building your 3D printer? And do you like it? Now for the serious questions. Do you, and I hope you'll say no, feel that you had to work harder than a man to be accepted as a woman woodworker? I ask because I don't see a lot of women in the woodworking scene, which could translate as mentalities are changing too slow, and that's a shame, really, I think. I also want to say that you have a great following, and when I watch your Instagram, I understand why. You are just so full of positive energy. In French, I said that you are radiant, which would it will translate as glowing, I think. It's a nice contrast to what I sometimes see in certain women accounts that clearly use other attributes. attributes, I'd say,
Nice.
to gain a following, which might actually hurt the credibility of other serious women in the woodworking thing. I mean, people can do whatever they want, and I'm just a babbling French in his garage trying to make sense of a feeling I have on this subject. So I hope I don't offend anyone, but I'm sure you understand what I mean. All right, thank you for your answers, and have a good podcast. Bye.
Once
I just
again,
want to say,
Thomas.
yeah,
coming
Thomas
in
just
hot.
asked such great questions. I really love
Yeah.
Thomas' questions. They're really solid. Yeah, thoughts, Alma?
Yeah, so I did finish the 3D printer. It's a Prusa MK3.
Oh.
Is that how you say it?
Oh, you guys, you and
Mark
Pete did
III.
a live together, yeah?
Yeah, we did a
You
live
guys did a
together.
live. It was awesome. It didn't take me as long as I thought. I am in mom mode, so
You
I
just-
had to,
You put in
do
the
it.
hours.
yeah. But it was pretty easy. Like I really enjoyed putting it together. Like I almost want to buy another one just to put it together, but I don't need another one. Like I have no use for another one.
Pete's like, yes,
He's
use
like,
my
yes.
affiliate link.
Yeah.
Every single one of mine I bought as a kit, and I'm still not sick of putting it together.
Yeah, it was so fun. And it works like flawlessly. Like I'm always so impressed by them. I have an older model. I have the MK2, I guess. Yeah, MK2. It's like super old. And it works every time. Like no issues ever. So very lucky.
And then is it hard being a woman woodworker?
Yeah, I mean, what was this
Do
question?
you
It was,
face
was
any
it-
criticisms, I guess, around, or like, because he's not seeing a lot of women in woodworking?
Yeah.
Aside
and-
from the ones that
Yeah.
show
And I
their attributes differently.
Yeah, but I think he means a lot in many ways, like online as well, like more
Right,
online
right.
than.
Yeah, I think he said, do I have to work harder, right?
Yeah.
As a woman
Yes.
worker.
Do you feel like you need to, or is it harder?
Yeah. Yes, to both of those. Yes, it is. I feel it is harder. I feel that I do have to work a lot harder. And not only do I have to work a lot harder to get noticed, if I like, I feel like I always have to put the best that I can out there. So, and I don't feel like a lot of people do that. Like we see photos of woodworking, like it's just like, oh, here's some walnut, and here's this piece that I just like whatever cutting board I just did, you know. I don't feel like, I never have felt like I could ever just post those things. I don't have that luxury of just saying like, this is what I'm doing right now. And that might just be me. That might be me being a minority, like that mindset as well. But I feel like I always have to give twice as hard.
You feel like you need to prove that it's actually you doing it, and you can't just post like finished pictures. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't feel like I have to prove that it's me, because I don't care if you don't think it's me. Like move on.
Except
then,
when
right?
you're proving that it's not you, it's Luke in a garage.
Right. Exactly. So I'm trying to get people to realize that Luke is me, right? I feel like I just can't put out whatever though. And that's it's not like proof that I did it. It's more of like that I can do it, right? Like that women, it's okay for women to be a woodworker, and women can put out good work as well, right? So yeah, I think it's somewhat harder, but I'm pretty lucky as well. I don't get a lot of the super rude comments. I don't see a lot of them either. Like if I don't know like who you are or whatever, like I don't open any of those comments, or like the blurred picture that you get when people send you stuff that you're not like, I just don't deal with it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's the way that you carry yourself, and you know, whether it's in person or like walking into Home Depot or to a Rockler or a Woodcraft, like it's rare that I get like, where's your husband, or is this for you? I usually get that when I'm in the festival area of those stores where they're like, oh, this is Festool. This is for like this particular thing. And I'm like, yeah, I know. You know, like
you want to be like Ron Swanson. I know more than you.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I got a real good laugh. Sorry to cut you off. Of the one where you were doing a track saw cut without the track, and you were just cutting it with a straight edge, and people got like, someone made a comment, and the community rallied. They were like,
"Oh, I missed this."
Oh yeah. She got a hater.
I made a cut without the track. I had just like a square.
To get that extra eighth of an inch, as Dan, you would know that makes a difference.
It does make a difference.
But that's the thing. I think I said in the comments, like, I forgot my track at home, and I was I made I think that in the caption I said, like, you actually don't need your track if you line up your line. There's lines on either side of the saw, and it makes it really easy versus like a circular saw that never lines up.
And then that's a cool little tip, and
it's a little like it should
be a cool little piece of content.
That. No, they were all so butthurt that I didn't have it on a track saw, and that, you know, like, that's not how you use it. And yeah, I do get that stuff, but
the internet.
But I usually leave it alone, and people will come to my defense.
It handles
and then I'm
itself.
Like, yeah. I've had a few guys that'll challenge like me as far as like my Festool knowledge, and like, but that's, to me, is like, really, it's stupid.
That's just I had tiny PP energy type stuff.
At the Festool event, like, I posted a video. I was using my right hand, but I was cutting on the right, so it was kind of crossed. Like, it was a weird. It was weird holding it that way, and they were like, "Oh, that's why Festool sucks, because you could only use it with your right hand." And I was like, "Here, the next reel that I posted was me using it with my left hand, and like how easy it was. Like, I did it both ways, and I, like, you know, I think I shared it to those guys.
I love the Festool hate. Like, it's the best. Like, all it comes down to is they can't afford it. Like, and they're just like, they're like black. They're angry. They're angry that they can't afford it.
I could do that too if I had $1,000 worth of tools.
It's just like, it's so funny every time. I had some long Tic Tac diatribe. Some guy was like, they're garbage, and he's like talking. It's like he's in a completely different world, like trade. He's like a drywaller. You know what I mean? Like, they have drywall tools for sure, but it's like, yeah, you don't need that to be a drywaller. There's tools. Those tools get beat up when you're a custom woodworker or furniture maker or whatever. You treat your tools a lot differently, and you want things. It's a different marketplace. It's just such a hilarious thing to how mad people get about their tools. And it's like, it's not even their tools. It's your tool. Yeah. What does it matter? Like, it doesn't even affect them. It's hilarious. Like, it's just hilarious. Anyway, sorry.
It's got to feel good though. Like, having a hater like bash you about Festool or make a comment about Festool, and you're like, if you only know, baby, like, if you only knew like where I'm at with Festool, just like you don't have to say anything.
I actually
just
think I commented I commented up to one of them and said something to that effect, like, because he just kept going. I should go back and find it. It just kept going, and I was like, you know what? I actually, like, I'm sponsored by them. Like, they gave me that tour, so like, it was something, you know, like, I was trained by them twice. Like,
oh, honey, shut up.
Yeah, just stop. Like, you don't need to use the stupid track if you don't want to. Like,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna steal that idea, and I'm doing it tomorrow. I love it. I have no reason to do it, but I'm gonna do it. You can't
use Festool. You don't have cherries.
Right.
Just angry mansplainers on there. Is that
excellent?
Thanks for the silence. I made it great.
No, I wanted to wait to see how you'd play it out and close out. Solid. No. All right, that's all for the questions.
Is that it? We've been doing this for an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Already.
29 minutes. Hour and 29 minutes.
Alma, I'm sorry. You were so intriguing.
10 seconds to wrap it.
Yeah. Well, if anyone can wrap it, it's me. I don't know what that means. Big thanks to our patrons. Big thank you to Alma. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're really glad to have you on the show. Alma's great. Go check her out on all the platforms that she's on. I would just, that'd be what? Instagram for the most part, right?
Pretty much, yeah. TikTok? Instagram. I am, but I don't.
But like, yeah, like, you don't like, but against your own will kind of a thing. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, TikTok sucks. Yeah. So go check out Alma on Instagram. Yeah. And Yeah, check her out. She's kind of great. We really like Alma around here.
Thanks.
She's really wonderful to talk to. Get to know her, check out her stuff. She makes cool stuff, and she's an important member of this community. So go give her some love. We will not be doing a show next week.
Or
in fact, we will not be doing a show the week after that. So this is going to be one of our longest breaks. Actually, no, this is our longest break that we've ever taken on the show.
Yep.
I am tired, and Pete's going to be gone, and then I'm going to be gone.
I'm getting a vasectomy.
And wow,
That
was interesting.
wrong close.
1 hour and 30 in, huh? I would have brought that in a lot earlier, but okay, whatever. Everyone podcasts.
Should have brought that up on What's on My Bench, eh?
Wow, Dan, way to cut that
What's
short.
not on my bench?
Nuts.
All
right.
No, all right. We'll be back in a couple weeks or 3 weeks, I guess. So big thanks to Alma. Pete, who's on the show in 3 weeks? Who do we got here? Do you got it in front of you?
I will be very happy to tell you.
It's Joni Sprague.
Thank you. I was not
got
ready.
I knew
was
it's
stalling so
Joni.
hard.
Joni's going to be on the show in about 3 weeks. So we're really excited to have Joni on the show.
funny.
And we'll talk to you guys then. She is really great. We will talk to you guys then. Have a great weekend. Take it easy.
Hey,
Bye now.
Love
Bye,
you all.
bye.
Bye.
long time.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.